In this video, I want to talk a little bit about rectangular prisms. And that sounds like a pretty complicated thing, but rectangular prisms are just like a box, right? We see here that this has 6 flat sides, and all of these sides are rectangles. So it's important to know that these rectangular prisms have 6 sides or faces, 12 edges, and then 8 corners or vertices. And to find the volume of rectangular prisms, we have to define 3 measurements. So that's what I'm going to do here. So we'll take this right here, this long side at the bottom. This will be our length. And then here, this side over here is going to be our width. And then this right here is going to be called the height, or we could call it the depth, but it means the same thing. To find the volume of this rectangular prism, what we are going to do is actually just multiply these 3 dimensions here. So we have the length, the width, and the height. So this is going to be length times width times height. And this formula here gives us the volume of the rectangular prism. And you can think of the volume as how much space that this is taking up, right? So if the volume was 12 feet, it is taking up 12 cubic feet of space. Let's see if we can find the area of this rectangular prism. So we know the length here is 8 inches, the width is 2 inches, and the height or depth is 6 inches. So we're going to use our formula, and I'll write this up here, the length times the width times the height. So our length is 8 inches, our width is 2 inches, and then our height is 6 inches. So we'll just solve this multiplication problem, right? So 8 times 2 is 16 inches squared, and then times 6 inches is going to be, let's see, 16 times 2 is 32, and then multiply that by 3, which would be 96. So our answer to this problem of the volume of this rectangular prism is 9 inches cubed, or 9 cubic inches. So now let's try to find the volume of this shape. So we're going to take the length here, which is 5 feet, 5 feet times the width, which is 1 foot, 1 foot, and then the height here is 3 feet times 3 feet. So we can multiply this. 5 times 1 is just 5, and then 5 times 3 is 15. So the volume, or the space that this rectangular prism takes up, is 15 cubic feet. And that is our answer. Let's see if we can solve the volume of this rectangular prism. So it's the same thing, but this time we have fractions as our dimensions. So this time the length is going to be 5 over 6. Our width is 1/3, and our height is 1/2. 1/2. So now all we need to do is just multiply across, since we're multiplying fractions, right? So 5 times 1 times 1 is 5, and then 6 times 3 times 2 is 36. So our answer here is 5 over 36, and then we didn't specify the units here, so we'll just say units cubed, or cubic units. So let's try this problem now. So we have a rectangular prism here, and we are given the length, width, and height, and now we need to try to find the volume. So our formula here is the same, is length times width times height, and now we just need to identify the value of each of these variables. And we can see here the length here is going to be 5 meters, the width is going to be 2 meters, and then this height here is 10. So we can take 5 times 2 times 10, and there's going to be an implied meters here. We'll fix that when we get done with this problem. And then this is going to be 5 times 2, which is 10 times 10, and then this is going to be 100. And we'll notice here our first dimensional unit is going to be meters, so our volume is going to be in cubic meters, or we can write this as meters cubed. And this is our answer, and we are done.